What I'm about to share with you helped me make over $330,000. And it's one very, very simple strategy that you can use whether you've got lots of clients or whether you've just got a few clients. It is so simple, yet so many copywriters overlook this strategy. I'd actually say this is the most overlooked copywriting strategy to get clients that I've ever come across, and it works so much. In fact, it's sometimes better than every other strategy. It's my favorite too. So I really want to share this with you. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's get into it. Okay, so what is the strategy? What's the secret strategy? It's networking and it's getting introductions, getting connections. One of the best copywriting clients I ever closed came from an introduction from a friend of mine. I've actually interviewed on this channel. I'm not going to share who it is, but he's on this channel. And he introduced me to one of the biggest personal brand copywriting businesses in the world. I worked with them for over 2 years. It really helped my career. I made a lot of money with them. And without his introduction, I wouldn't have made that kind of money. There's another friend of mine that introduced me to 5 premium high-paying copywriting clients, $5,000 to $6,000 a month each. And these businesses, over the 3 years I worked with them, that all adds up. If you add all those numbers together, maybe it's even more than $330,000, you know? In fact, if I think about it, I actually might say it's even more. It might be like $500,000 or maybe even more than that. Because I remember I did the numbers, and the one business owner friend of mine, he introduced me to $330,000 worth of client business. But there's a lot of other copywriters and other friends that I've made over the years that have also introduced me to clients. And in fact, many of my private coaching clients actually also come from referrals and introductions. So if I think about it, it might be even more than that. You know, it is by far the most profitable way to get business. And it's not just referrals. A lot of people think like introductions and your network is just a referral thing. I would say referrals are a little bit more business focused, whereas introductions, they're more social focused. So you might get a referral from a purely transactional standpoint. It's like you help somebody make money, you ask them if they know anybody else that needs your services, you get referred, now you make them money and you kind of repeat the process. Whereas introductions and networking is more of a friends, let's help each other kind of way to get clients. So it's slightly different. And I really want you to understand this because this is the biggest point I'm going to be making with you in this video about how to create connections and how to create introductions and how to, you know, like get clients from your network. It is a social experience. Now think about it like going to the movies, right? Let's say you go watch a really, really, really good movie. You love the movie. It was a fantastic movie. Do you want a percentage of the ticket if you refer to somebody else and you say, hey, go watch this movie. It was an amazing movie. Do you want the movie theater to pay you like 10% of the ticket? No, right? You tell your friend, you recommend it, right? You recommend to your friend, you say, I think you should watch this movie, right? Why? Because human beings, we like to create introductions and create connections and make recommendations. It's part of our social nature. Like we get a social benefit from giving somebody else a positive experience. If you show your one friend to another friend and you say, you guys should make friends, and then they make friends, that's a good like experience for you socially. So the reason I'm saying this is because with referrals, people are often business incentivized, whereas with networking and introductions and connections, people are a lot more socially incentivized. They don't need money necessarily. And the reason that this is even more important than many people think is that many people go into networking with the idea of trying to create business transactions. They're like going in, pretending that they want to be social and they want to make friends with you. You know what it's like, maybe on Facebook or something, somebody reaches out to you and you're like, oh, they want to like connect with me. And then halfway through the conversation, they're like, so what are you working on in your business right now? Like, how can I help you with your business? Like, whoa, I thought we were just having a connection. We were just chatting. We're just making friends, right? So that's the biggest mistake people make is that they take a social experience, connecting, and they try and turn it into business. And that's the mistake. You do not want to do that. In fact, people do the same thing when they go to events. They go to an event and instead of just making friends and connecting with people, they immediately look for a way to create business and make money, you know? I got a perfect example for you. Today I'm here in Rome at the Colosseum, and I just met up with 20 of my private clients from the dojo. And we had lunch together, and then we went inside the Colosseum and we took some photos and we had a good time. You know what? In that social interaction, in that time together, we didn't talk about clients, like closing clients once. Nobody asked me, hey, do you have a business that you can refer to me? And I didn't hear anybody else say to anybody else, like, do you have a business client or deal you can refer to me? No one there gave me the impression that they wanted business. And this is like so crucial because we were all just there with this idea of like being friends and like socializing and just having a good time together as friends. We didn't have this expectation that we're going to be there and we're going to, you know, try to get deals from each other and stuff. But you know what's going to happen? The friendships that we make today, the connections that we create, there will be some deals that will come from it in the future. In fact, one of the copywriters that is here today, he created a connection for one of my other private clients in the dojo for $4,000 a month. So the deals are happening. They're just not happening when you're in the middle of that conversation. When you're socializing, you're being friends. You're not in the same context. So that is like the most important thing I can share with you. And it's like something that most people forget is like, make 100% sure that no matter what, you do not mix business and social and try and make your social interaction a business interaction, because it just feels transactional. It feels like you want money, right? And like, you don't want that. Don't make people feel like you're just there because you just want to make money. Make an effort, make friends, talk about stuff outside of business. And if you want to talk about business because it just makes perfect sense, you're at an event, right? And you're talking to a business owner and they say, oh, wow, you're a copywriter. Like, I would love to work with you. You can stop them and you can say, hang on, wait. Well, don't say it like that, but like you could say like, that sounds great. I'd love to. Let's chat about it sometime after the event. Like, give me your WhatsApp or give me your Facebook and we can chat about it on a different time, like at a different time in like a different context. And then boom, you kind of move the conversation away and then you just get back into like the socializing and being friends. And that way you also don't come across as needy, right? So that's the first thing I'll share with you about making sure that you connect and you do introductions correctly, is you don't try and mix them. And so many people do this bait and switch thing where they're like, they start the conversation pretending to be interested and then they move it to, oh yeah, like, so you're looking to grow your business right now, do you need help by any chance with copy? Like, don't do that, Okay, so the second thing I want to talk to you about is when you're in teams, when you're with businesses, like how do you create more connections? Because when you're in a team, there are a lot of people. There's like the sales team, there's the marketing team, there's the customer success team. There's a lot of people that you're working with, including the business owner, and you want to create a connection with them. You want to build a relationship and you want to not just be friends in the team, like try and create a connection with them as a person. So for example, what I do, let's say for example, the sales director. I'll get on the phone with the sales director and I'll say, hey, I'd love to, get to know you and see like what you do in the team and see where I can support you in the marketing team, for example. And then we get on the phone and I chat with the sales director. I make an effort to get to know him or her a little bit and what they're working on and like how the business works. And then we start to become friends and we start to talk a little bit more. And when we have a project, we're successful. I mention, hey, really great work. Like, really appreciate that. You helped us with the campaign. That was fantastic. Like, I make an effort to be a team player, So in a team, it's a little bit more business related than it is social. But when you hang out with people in a team, they don't feel like you need anything from them other than the fact that you're in a team together. It's not like you're trying to make money from them. So I start there. Like, one of the people that I mentioned at the beginning of this video that actually gave me $330,000 worth of business was one of the copy chiefs that I worked with one of my biggest first clients I ever worked with. I made friends with him. We worked together very closely for over a year. We had a great time. And then he introduced me to one of his other clients. And then he introduced me to another client. And then he introduced me to somebody else. And I just kept getting introductions from him. And do you know why he gave me so many introductions as well? And this is the third thing I want to share with you. The third thing is he gave me introductions because I respected the introduction. It's so important you understand this, because when people introduce you to somebody else, their reputation's on the line. Like, think about it. Like, let's say you recommend a movie and all your friends go watch the movie and it's a bad movie. They're like, you don't look so good, right? Like, oh, we're not going to take movie recommendations from him again. Like, no, he wasn't very good recommending movies, right? So it's kind of the same. If you mess up referral or you mess up an introduction, people are not going to make the introduction again, because now it's like, well, they made me look bad, And I've seen this happen. There was one person that, like was getting referrals from me and they just blew it in front of the client. They did a bad job. Like, it looked bad. I don't give them referrals anymore because I was like, well, like what, they're just going to mess it up. They don't respect the referral. Some people I've referred in the past, like replied 3 or 4 days later, didn't make an effort. Other people, they weren't as professional as I thought they would be. So, it affects me when I make an introduction and somebody doesn't show that respect. I don't want to make another introduction, and this is such an important thing because sometimes we don't think about this. And it's so weird how many times copywriters sabotage their own success, because you literally have a deal on a silver platter. If you just make the effort, you present yourself correctly, you have good camera presence, you bring your microphone, a high quality microphone, you respond respectfully, you thank both people. Let's say I make you an introduction. I say, hey, super successful copywriter, I'd like you to meet super successful business owner. Business owner needs Facebook ads. I know you're really, really good at Facebook ads. Like, have a conversation, might be worth like chatting, Instead of just jumping into it, because some people have done this and I've seen this happen. Like, instead of just jumping in and being like, oh, I'm really good at this and I'm really good at that, and like I can do this for you and I can do this for you, and I'll be like, let me explain my whole process to you, and this is how I like to work with clients. Like, don't assume the sale, don't become super detailed, be respectful, be friendly, and be open to the conversation. So for example, what you could say is, hey Matthew, thank you so much, really appreciate it, and really nice to meet you, business owner. I'd love to hear more about what you're up to. Something like that, man. Like, don't jump into it. Don't be like slow to respond. Like, show appreciation to both people in the chat with you. And then you take it from there and you let them kind of, tell you what they have in mind. I love this question. Like, tell me a little bit more about what you guys are up to. Let's chat about it. It's such a friendly way to start the conversation. Say thank you. Thank you is so important. And another thing you can do is, like, when you have people refer you and create introductions for you, you say, like, last year you made that introduction. I've been working with that business. I love doing this. It's a secret. This is not in my note to share with you. It's like, instead of just like moving on, you tell that person, last year you made an introduction to so-and-so. I just want to tell you, like, I really appreciate that. I really love working with them. They're such a great person. And we've been able to get all these really, really cool results. Like, I just wanted to say thank you for that. It really means a lot to me. And then they're going to refer you again because, like, wow, I remember like this, I remember this person did that. And this is not a tactic. It's like, for me, I believe you should feel this way anyway, but maybe some people forget to express what they're feeling inside. Like, maybe you are grateful to that person that made an introduction, but it just didn't cross your mind, or you were shy, or you weren't quite sure what to do. Like, tell them that you appreciate it. Like, I've done this. I said to somebody, hey, I really, really appreciate, you making that introduction for me. It really made my life a lot better. Thank you. And they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that, wow, this person was appreciative. So I think appreciation, I think respect, I think punctuality and like diligence, like good qualities, these are not the kinds of, it's not a business tactic. Having good qualities, that is what's going to get you more introductions. Being a genuinely quality, good person. Because remember, we're talking about the social aspect of what we do. This is a social strategy. This is not a business strategy. So as a person, you have to work on this. And that means you also have to work on becoming better at networking and building your social skills, It's not a tactical thing. That's funny. Okay, so another thing that I've noticed a lot is prioritizing new clients over existing clients. And we all make this mistake because new clients, it's like novelty, it's interesting, it's like you're working on new challenges, but your existing clients are the ones paying you. You're integrated into their team. They're investing time into you. They're constantly working with you. So instead of just focusing on new clients, which I think I've seen a lot of copywriters do, and a lot of agencies actually do this too, they close a client, and then as soon as the client's closed for the first month, they do a lot of good work, and then after that, they're like, like next client, and then they kind of do the same thing. And only when people leave, then they're like, oh, how can we help and make it better, right? A lot of businesses will actually do this, where they prioritize in the beginning and they prioritize at the end. If you're that one person that doesn't do that, and you're consistently looking for more and more ways to be helpful, looking for more and more ways to be a go-getter in their team, that is more of like a referral strategy, I suppose, because it's like a business tactic to like continue to add value over time. But it's also a social thing. Like, if you just make an effort to care about them, like, do you know, let's say, like when their anniversary is? Like, do you know like when they started their business? Do you know like some things that they care about? Make an effort to like get to know the people that you work with, whether it's the client, whether it's people in their team. Like, don't just prioritize new business. I see this so often. I've made this mistake before. Like, for me, I just know for me, like, that's where I've got so much business in my life that I always just trust the process of like, I'm gonna get clients. I'm good at what I do. I like to put in, hard work, but I like the relationships. I build relationships with people. People will continue to create more opportunities for me. I'll show respect. I'll treat them well. I'll take those opportunities and I'll keep going, So just trust that process. So I'm going to give you an action step now. If you want to use this strategy and you want to start seeing results today, you need to start talking to people on the phone. This is what works for me. So I tell my private clients, get on the phone for 15 minutes. If you don't like the person, you can always leave. That's why it's 15 minutes, not an hour. Just start chatting to people. It's one of my first mentors. He told me, the more strangers you meet, the more money you make. Something like that. I paraphrase it. Or maybe it was like, you'll make money to the level of the amount of strangers you're willing to meet on a weekly basis. I think the first one sounds a bit better, but something like that. And so I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I was scared. Like, I didn't want to meet people and get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, we're copywriters, right? A lot of the time we're very introverted, so we don't necessarily want to meet people. But isn't that why it's going to be effective? Because less people want to do it. If less people want to do it, you're going to stand out. So make the effort, Don't worry about business stuff. Just focus on the social side. Just focus on connecting and making an effort to get to know people in the industry. You know, that's why you're talking. You're not talking because you want money. You just want to meet people. And trust the process. It might take a few months for you to get deals from it. Don't worry about that part. They will come. I'm telling you right now, it's made me, from what we've been talking about, probably over $500,000 at this point. So you don't make $500,000 like accidentally. This strategy works, okay? It works. It will always work. Human beings, we're always going to value connecting with each other. That's all I got for you in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, wait, actually, one more thing. So this is just the second strategy of 12 strategies. I share exactly what works right now to close premium clients as a copywriter. So if you're a copywriter and you want to close a lot of premium clients, we have a video on the channel we'll put over here, the 12 ways to close premium copywriting clients. I highly recommend you watch it because what we covered here is just one of those 12 strategies. So go through the other strategies, see which ones work for you based on your situation. That's all I have to share with you for now. I'll see you in the next video.